another one too, right?
Yeah, what's the one coming off of Cardigan Mountain that winds up, well, anyway.
Yeah, pull the map out, John. Jeez.
Now, I have some good canned language about severe winter weather, and I'll also use your old plan to fill this one in.
Okay.
However, there's a few hazards that have taken place recently that I want to go over with you that were in the winter months. So I've jumped to another chart for just a second. We're going to look at the winter storm of 2023. It was a winter storm, but they called it inland flooding. Do you know if anything particular happened in Grafton during that winter storm? This is December of 23, and it was a declared declaration.
Is that the one we did?
We didn't have anything major go on in that one.
Which one did we?
There was another one in 22 in December.
Sir, which one did we end up with?
I thought.
But we fell just short of the threshold.
Was that the spring one?
It's the July one too, July of 23.
So July we ended up with that we ended up with all the money on.
Oh, we did. So it was one prior to that. So it would have been in 2023. Right?
It was the December one where
December
we
of
didn't.
2023.
Yeah, we didn't meet the threshold.
Okay. Yeah.
December of 22 or 23?
23.
23. Yeah, we didn't meet the threshold for it because it wasn't enough to.
You had basically minor damage?
Yeah, it wasn't anything major. I mean, we had a couple of washout spots that weren't really anything major.
Meet the threshold to submit.
Yeah, we were. God, I think we were like.
We were well under.
Yeah, we were 18. I don't even remember now. It's been so long, but we were.
Well, now I'm thinking about it. The July one, was that 2024 or was that 2023? I think the July one was 2023. We got the money in 2024, so it would have been December 2022.
Okay, so yeah, it would have been 22 then.
December
You're right.
2022.
22, right.
So let's put this back up here to this one here. Minor damage to roads, couple of washout spots, not major. Didn't meet threshold to submit. That's 22.
Correct.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, we're going to go, since we're on this chart, we might as well stick here for a minute. We are talking now about inland flooding as well as December winter events. So there was another July of 23. That was another declaration in Grafton County. What happened in that one?
So that one we did get FEMA money for.
Yep.
Do you have any idea how much?
Was it
Just
60?
under 70 grand. 60.
I don't know if the book shows it.
It's alright.
No, so this is just going to show operating budget, and that wouldn't have been operating.
Yeah, no, it was somewhere between 60 and 70 grand. I don't remember exactly the total number.
I want to keep looking on my laptop because that's where it is, but.
What kind of damage did you have during that July period?
We lost half of Speck Pond Road, Riddle Hill Road.
What happened on River Hill Road? Did you lose half of that too?
We lost a complete culvert, 2-foot culvert, washed completely out. Because it plugged the inlet because of the water. It came down and put a massive amount of rocks and silt in front of the culvert and plugged the entire thing. And jumped the culvert, washed the road out down below. So we had to replace the culvert.
So this has all been mitigated?
Yep, all been done.
Okay, great. And you got some money for it, so
Yep.
all of that's good. Anything else you want to tell me about that storm?
So at Speck Pond Hill, we had a culvert plug, which then in return took half the road width out, 3.5 feet deep, least. Some spots were almost 5 feet deep. We had to rebuild the entire road width, God, almost a quarter of a mile. Sounds about right.
Quarter of a mile?
Yeah, a quarter of a mile long. Down a steep hill. Upgrade the 2 culverts that were in there. Get them pitched a little bit different direction.
Did you go to culverts?
What's that?
Did you use plastic culverts?
There were plastic culverts already in it.
Oh, so you did the same thing.
Yeah, they were. We could use the culverts that were there. They just were overwhelmed, and basically plugged the inlet because of wash that came down and debris that was in the ditch line.
Right, gotcha.
So we also did, when we reconstructed the ditch lines, we also put check dams in with riprap and redid the entire ditch line to kind of help it to slow the water down and the flow down, to enter those 2 culverts so that it wouldn't hopefully do this again.
Gotcha. True mitigation. That
Yep.
is true mitigation right there. That's what we're looking for other culverts.
Yep.
This question I wanted to ask you too. Oh, did you, when you put the 2 new culverts in, did you go up in size? Or did you stay the same
So the one on Riddle Hill, I upped it a complete size because it was too small, and it was steel that was in the ground with the complete rotted bottom. So I upped
size?
it. I upped it and upgraded to the HDPE culvert, and upped the size of it, and re-skewed the angle of it to match more of the flow that it should have been anyway.
And that was for River Hill Road, right?
Yeah, Riddle Hill, yep.
Riddle. R-I-D-D-L-E?
Yep.
Okay, on the other road, Speck Pond Road,
Yep.
did you upsize those 2?
Nope, they didn't need to be upsized. They were at their maximum anyway.
Alright, good information, thank you very much. Now, the next storm, that was a winter storm, was December of 23. That was something similar to the one in 22, although communities either were or were not hit by this one.
Yeah, that one we didn't end up with anything.
And when you haven't ended up with anything, what I usually write is no significant damage in Grafton. Okay, and then we have the period last summer, and I don't think this got to you guys too much, from January 9th to 14th of 24, anything in that period?
Nope.
Nope, okay, we'll do no significant again. And then the next one was July of this year, this past summer. This was in Grafton, but it really hit Co-ops bad. It also hit a few towns in Grafton. Did you get any damage from this one? This just happened this past summer.
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. And we're going to get off this table now, because we'll talk about this stuff later. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other table, the hazard descriptions. We just talked about some of the severe winter events. Now what I want to add, there's a couple other severe winter events. Hold on a second. And we'll be doing the table I keep jumping back and forth to next time. But there were a couple other severe winter events since your last plan, and I want to just get your feeling on what happened with those. There was an extreme temperature event back in February of 2023. This was dangerously cold. Wind chills hit up -109 on top of Mount Washington. Do you recall if Grafton had any significant experience with that cold? Did you open a shelter or anything?
Was that when we lost power? And we ended up
Probably.
unlocking the fire station?
Yeah, but nobody showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we did prepare a little bit. We did open up the fire station because we lost power, but as John said, nobody showed up. I can't believe I remember that.
That's good because I forgot about it.
What I've written here in general is Grafton experienced dangerously cold temperatures, but no injuries, deaths, or significant damages were reported. They opened the fire station for shelter, but no one showed up.
That's correct.
Okay. Make this one green. Then there was one other winter event. This happened, was not declared in Grafton. However, this was that heavy April snowstorm last April. Anything happened during that one in Grafton?
No.
You were able to handle the heavy snow accumulation, right?
Yep.
It's just another day in Grafton.
Alright, we're going to go back to severe winter weather now on our hazard descriptions. And what I want to ask you, and this might seem like kind of a silly exercise, but it actually helps in the long run. I want to ask you about mitigation for severe winter weather. I'll offer a few recommendations. The first one is public education. And you're going to see public education in a lot of the places on discussing mitigation for different hazards. But public education is a big one. So public education on severe winter weather and ice storms. Another mitigation strategy is tree trimming. Another one is culvert maintenance, just to keep things moving. And ditch maintenance. Another mitigation strategy is one that most communities do not adopt, but I put it in here as a potential, and that is snow fencing. Do you have any areas in town that could benefit from snow fencing?
Yeah, yes and no.
Yes, no? We'll talk about that again later. What other mitigation do you think we can do for severe winter weather? Anything else you can think of besides those things?
Not that I can think of.
That covers it pretty much. Public education covers a lot of it. Okay, inland flooding is our next category. This is when we talk about your rivers. You got the Smith River. Did you ever determine what that other river's name is?
No, I can't think of that one.
Let's see if I can-
John, about page 35, and you'll probably find it. It's under the National Flood Insurance Program. It may say it under there. Roughly 35, 36.
Okay.
It might not say it there. The section under National Flood Insurance
Yeah,
Program.
it only mentions the Smith River.
Okay, I guess it's not significant then.
Yeah, I guess it's.
Tell me about inland flooding events that we haven't already discussed that have occurred in Grafton in the last 5 years. Can you think of any others than the ones we've already talked about? And again, going back to this chart, those inland events were July 24, we already did all these, December 23, July 23, December 23. There was one in July of 19, which would be post-plan. Can you remember anything that happened in July of 19?
Oh, is that over the 4th of July weekend?
Actually, it was slightly after that.
What about that year that we
Yeah,
got dumped
that's
that
fine.
like 5 feet of snow all at once?
Oh,
That was like 2021, right?
no, that was well before.
Well, that was before that. That was.
No, it was after COVID.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah, 'cause
No,
I
that was the
in
first year I started for the town.
Oh no, it was
What-
after COVID because I was in HR. We were back from the closures.
I mean, I remember.
I think it was in 2021.
No, there was we had like 42 inches of snow in one day.
That was the 18.
No,
In 19? 19.
I'm
that
telling you guys.
That was 19 because that's when the first year that I started plowing
Hold
for
on.
the
It took,
town.
can
it took
tell
the
you
road
all the
department 2 or 3 days to clear the
Yeah.
roads.
It was December 17th, 2020.
2020. We don't have that as a severe winter one. Must have been something we didn't know about.
Yeah, that's when it was like that high. That
Yeah.
was in my driveway. Yeah, that was December 17th, 2020.
Well, that's normal. That's only 2 feet.
Hey,
Well, he's not
that
wrong.
makes me only 3
For
feet.
December 22nd, what year?
I have December 17th, 2020.
2 feet's normal.
Must not have been declared.
No.
They didn't declare that. I mean, that's my car.
That,
Okay.
That's normal.
That's
So
normal.
is that what
No,
you're
no.
saying?
When you open the door and it's right here on my chest.
Then we have a problem.
That's my goats.
Wow, how much
Like-
snow did you get?
It was a lot.
It's only 2 feet. That's normal.
It was at like 3 to 4 feet. It had to have been at least. That was up to the shovel. I don't know if that helps either.
I mean,
They
Well,
didn't
the
there's,
shovel
really
handle's
measure it.
57 inches normally.
how much of that was old snow?
Right.
57 inch your normal snowfall?
And you had,
Yeah, we typically, if it's really gonna snow, we typically get 12 to 18 most of the time.
Yeah.
A real snowstorm, not
not
this-
what we've had this year. This year,
Yeah, in fact, if we don't get more snow, we're going to be in severe drought because the frost has only gone into the ground about 4 inches, and it can't go any deeper because there's no moisture.
yeah, 4 to 6.
Yeah.
If we're lucky.
And it should have gone deeper. It can't. There's no moisture to freeze.
In the December 2020 storm, was this highway department able to handle the snow accumulation?
Yeah, I mean, it took us a while to dig out, but, I mean, we handled it fine. I mean, it was a while, but we
You
took
didn't
care
have
of
to
it.
call in extra help or bulldozers or anything?
Nope. Nope, just keep going until you get through. That's all you can do.
Okay, we'll add that one in. Let's go back over here again. Let's talk about inland flooding. We did all the inland flooding events, unless you could think of another one. Does the Smith River often overflow its banks? Is that a river that's of concern?
Well, I mean, I think beavers are the biggest issue we've got going on right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
If it wasn't for the beavers, it'd probably be fine.
yeah, the beaver issue is a lot of the problem right now. We've got beaver dams and dens up and down the Smith River like you wouldn't believe right now.
And you can't do much about them, can you?
Nope. No, because it's on the landowner. Unless it's threatening my road, immediate road, there's nothing I can do about them.
It's tough. Okay, let's talk. We did some inland flooding events, so let's talk about mitigation for inland flooding. Again, it's always public education. Inland flooding, definitely culvert maintenance. Anything else you can think of to protect us from inland flooding? Anything you think you can do besides battle the beavers?
Not
No,
really.
We've actually, from our old plan, raised Prescott Hill. That's no longer an issue for us for
No,
washing the road out.
that one did a lot.
It sounds like you're going to come out as a very safe town when this is all said and done.
I mean,
Well, we implemented our plan from the last time. I mean, that's what we're here about.
Yep. Okay, the next section is about high winds. Now, tell me about high wind areas in the town of Grafton. Are there particular
Everywhere?
areas that have high winds, or is it just townwide?
Townwide.
yeah, townwide, because there's no real spot where you're safe.
Well, there's so many valleys and stuff.
Yeah, there's so many. You go from wood to open fields, and it's
Yeah.
Yeah, we're funneled, and the mountain gets it first, but then it gets funneled,
funneled
in,
into the valley, and then
and it just speeds it up.
yeah, I mean it's everywhere. There's
It's
nowhere.
everywhere.
I'll check the topography. Would you consider yourself a farming town at this point in time? Is there a lot of agriculture in town? I'm just curious.
No,
No, not really.
Not commercial. There's some private, but
Yeah, and they're not real big
Hot-
farms either.
hobby farms for the most part.
right, correct.
Okay. Okay, townwide open, Funnel Valley, check topography. I'm trying to get some more notes here. Again, high wind events, mitigation, public education, tree trimming is vital for high winds.
Yes, the co-op has been very aggressive on keeping their lines clear and have been doing that. I don't think we get as much wind damage to the lines as Canaan does.
No, not even close.
I mean, they've been pretty good about keeping up power lines cleared.
Me now. We hear that all over the place, that all of the utility companies are doing a good job.
Yeah, they've been extremely aggressive out here over the last 3 months.
Would the wind fencing come in as a mitigation plan? What did we call it?
The snow fencing?
Yeah, the snow fencing. That's
No.
no.
The only place I would
Because
even think, well,
so you get snow drifts on Prescott.
we get them
From
on Slab
the-
City too, but
yeah,
it's not.
we get them on the slab city, but
it's-
they're not huge.
It's not significant. The only one place that they used to do it was on Hardy Hill by the Johnson Farm, but with enough trees there now, I don't think that's an issue anymore.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
And the way that ditch line is set now, it's enough of a swale in there. It actually catches it and keeps it in the ditch line so that
Yeah, so we have
I
good
just-
natural barriers.
I just jumped over to the high wind category in our other table, and let me look and see if there's anything that we haven't addressed already. You had a microburst in 2014, that's a new one, that's not
Oh,
a declared
yeah.
one.
mm,
Has it
Yes.
mm,
A Gusnado.
I remember that one.
been- right. Any other events since 2018 that we haven't talked about already? Because I don't see any other high wind events. Any other microbursts or downbursts?
Not that we couldn't take care of ourselves.
No, nothing
Okay.
that I recall.
No big win since the Gusnado. Alright, infectious disease is the next one. Now I have a lot of canned language on most of the rest of these now, but infectious disease, just tell me what happened in Grafton in the beginning of COVID. Did you close the town hall and were all the schools closed? I'm assuming they both were.
The schools closed. I wasn't part of the town when that happened, but I don't recall anyone telling me that it was closed.
Most town halls during that period, from what I've experienced doing these plans, stayed open with mitigation in place. In other words, if they had to meet in the parking lot to give
Right.
something, would do it.
Yeah, I don't think, but I don't think we closed though.
I don't remember on that one.
The school was closed.
I know the,
The
school
school
was
was definitely
closed,
closed.
but I don't remember.
Town was still open for business.
Yeah, I thought so.
Had-
I didn't
had
think they
to.
even do much for mitigation either, from what I understand.
No, they threw a lot of stuff in like the loader bucket and stuff for trash for the dump and stuff like that. I remember that.
Yeah, they tried to diminish the exposure of people.
Yeah. They no longer took any of the recycling stuff. That's all went into an open top container.
Now, mitigation for infectious disease is PE, public education, also PPE, personal protective equipment. How are you guys on that end in town?
We have sufficient numbers for all our active personnel.
I'm hearing from most of my communities. Okay, extreme temperatures. I usually have good canned language for this one, but what I ask on this one is, have there been any extreme temperature events? I think I already asked this. Anyone died or get injured because they were misusing equipment?
No.
Okay, we're going to get a little bit more specific on drought, so I'll go to the other table for this one. In 2016, from your last plan, which was before, the drought was before the last plan, several dug and dried wells, drilled wells dried up in Grafton during this period, and there were several small fires that resulted, but there was nothing significant. That's what we said in the last plan about the 16 drought. What about the 20 drought? That was a little bit worse in the North Country. The blue language here is just sample language. It's just something we could say. So what happened in the 2020 drought? Do you have any recollection? You lose any more wells or anything?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure we did. I mean, we always end up losing wells in droughts, especially with people that have dug wells.
My
Do you know
dug
if
well,
you
I
lost fire
never
ponds?
lost one. Hmm?
Did you lose any fire ponds?
No.
No. I mean, they got low, but
No, we didn't lose any water source.
no. They got low, but we
In
didn't
fact,
lose any of them.
Last year was really low.
I know.
24 really bad, and it still hasn't really recovered yet. Nope.
In 24?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how we didn't go into a drought last year.
Tewksbury Pond, I've never seen it as low as, or Turtle Pond, as low as it has. I mean,
ever been.
ever been.
Agreed. Agreed.
I've been here.
100%.
I've been here 30 years. I've never seen mud at the bottom of Turtle Pond, and this year I saw mud.
That's surprising because I've heard anyone else talk about a drought in 24.
Really?
No?
Huh. It was bad here.
Not that I don't believe it, it's just not one of those that was recorded. Droughts been pretty low across the state. And right now, you're in moderate drought. Moderately dry, I think the conditions are right now, because I just looked it up yesterday. So in 2024, there was another drought, and fire ponds did run low. Do you think people ran out of water in their wells during that one?
Yes.
Wells, right up. Okay, I'll type all this up for the next time.
Okay.
We have one more drought to talk about, and that is the 22 drought. That was not as bad in the north as it was in the south. How did you guys do in that one? Same thing?
The same thing. We had a lot of well drillers 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see Cushing and Sons and a few others coming to town on a regular basis.
Quite often. A lot of people went drilling wells instead of their dug wells.
Right. That must have been from the 22.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, dude. Dug to artesian wells. Okay, fire ponds got low again, but not dry.
That's correct.
Okay. The reason I'm making these green is next time we do this
Okay.
big table, indicate this is information we got from this meeting. That's what the green means.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back over here to our hazard descriptions. We just talked about it, so I'll say see table 3.2. And I have some canned language about drought as well. Wildfire. Now you haven't had any significant wildfires since the last plan, but you want to discuss any wildfires you might have had since the last plan?
No, they're not significant. It's what we expect every year.
Okay, what I do when I talk about wildfire is I also talk about the wildland-urban interface. Now, your town is heavily forested, so ultimately I'll say in the plan that the whole town is in the wildland-urban interface. However, I will talk about how the Forest Service developed a plan to determine the wildland interface by drawing literally a line from the center line of each Class 5 road to 300 feet, and then another line 1,300 feet away, which represents the WUI, or the wildland interface, which is where human habitation interferes or intersects with the wildlands. So we'll talk about all that in the plan. Now, one of the reasons I talk about it is because this plan, like the last one, I'm pretty sure your last one was too, will become a community wildfire protection plan. Community Wildfire Protection Plan may enable you to seek some funding from either the feds or the state. And I know they have some money because they've asked me what towns are community wildfire protection towns. But it might give you an opportunity to seek funding for areas of blowdowns or areas where there's a particularly high fuel load. So it's a good thing that we do talk about wildfire. The next one, I'm assuming we're going to do mostly canned on this because there hasn't been a tropical storm since Tropical Storm Sandy, and I'll look at your old plan.
Sandy really didn't affect us as much as Irene did.
Now, Irene was definitely worse for everybody. In fact, let's look over here and see what we said about Irene. That's weather, winter weather. We said, Irene, last time, several areas of Grafton experienced flooding when 5.5 inches of rain fell in 1 hour. Millbrook Road washed out, Spectacle Pond Road, Wild Meadow, and Riddle Hill washed out as well. One home had water in the basement, but it was since mitigated. Route 4 near Bullock's Crossing, due to volume of rain, was flooded, and FEMA funding was reserved roughly for $1.2 million. You guys got that much money?
We got a lot, but I don't think it was.
That's a lot of money.
I think
Interesting.
us, Canaan and Orange. I think that area, yeah, 1.2, yeah. Town of Grafton didn't get that. I think Town of Grafton got 100 and some odd thousand. We're almost $200,000 worth of damage. But Canaan got it worse because again, a lot of water goes through Canaan, and whatever goes through Orange goes through Canaan. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I just did this plan too. They got slammed in one of these storms.
yeah.
Okay, so let's go back over here again. So tropical storms and cyclones, I put old plan into canned language. Earthquakes, you haven't experienced any earthquakes recently, have you?
None that would affect us.
Have you felt any?
No,
Back over-
I think I feel the trucks going on my road more.
No, right?
Agreed.
If I felt it, I didn't
My one
recognize
that would
it.
have been anywhere near you would have been, I think, Haverhill or Hanover. That both of them had earthquakes recently, but they're not on my list.
No, I didn't feel a thing.
No.
No, okay. Back to landslides. Tell me where your landslide area is and why it's a problem.
It's where they've logged near the roads with dirt for steep. Height of land would be one,
Heideland.
and Ruggles Mine now.
Mine definitely is gonna. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that one.
Because it's a sharp, very sharp grade, and because they logged it, there's the vegetation is no longer gonna hold that back, and underneath that is ledge. Okay, and so those areas that are recently logged, we are watching as potential for landslides.
What about that cliffside on Route 4 on the S curves? Is that a landslide issue?
No.
Okay.
Okay, let me see if I got these roads right. Height of Land Road, is that a name of a road?
Yeah, Heideland.
And Ruggles Mine Road?
Yep. It's not a town road, but it's close enough to a town road.
Okay. Well, you don't want anything kind of having landslides on it, so
Right.
understandable. Okay, lightning. I have some canned language for lightning too, but have you had any particularly bad, severe thunder or lightning storms in the last 5 years?
Where's it gonna go? Back into the pit
Right. That's something we might want to
in the future. Yeah.
keep an eye on.
Yeah, there's a thing called. We'll,
I figured
after
might
this,
be
we'll
something.
figure out. Yeah,
To get
it
into
needs to go into that.
That's why I just wrote it down. That's all.
Do we have anything for lightning?
Lightning, natural occurrences, nothing significant here.
Okay, dam failure. We talked about that a little bit, and that was the Grafton Pond Dam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Grafton Pond Dam is the only one we really need to have major concern on.
Do you know what its classification is? Is it a high hazard dam?
No,
No, I don't think
No.
so.
no.
That makes a big difference. So Grafton Pond Dam, what is wrong with it? What do you think needs to be done? Or is the pond, the dam itself okay? You're just worried if it failed?
Worried if it fails.
I mean, they've been patching it, but it may come to a point where they really need to replace it. I don't know if we're there yet.
Now, if it were to fail, you said it would only affect roads, it wouldn't affect structures.
Correct. At least in Grafton. I don't know about Enfield.
Yeah, well, we're not worried about Enfield right now.
Right.
Okay, you didn't lose any communications during Solar Storm and Space Weather, that event?
No.
No.
Okay. We're gonna do the same thing for the technological and hazard ones, but we might even make those quicker. So let me grab those over here. All of this stuff that I'm writing here, I know it looks pretty flimsy right now, but eventually it becomes part of the chapter 5, which is the chapter that brings the plan down to a local level. So we're not just talking about state events, we're talking about local events. Long-term utility, can you recall any long-term utility outages of more than 3 days in the last 5 years?
No.
Not that I can
No.
recall.
Not for that long period.
No.
And you have not had a cyber event?
Correct.
But tell me something, how do you store your town office data? Is it in the cloud? Is it on a server in the town hall? Is it a server elsewhere?
We have a server. Oh, I'll be right back. Oh, it's just you. Okay.
Where'd you go?
Sorry, someone's coming in. So we have a server that is stored in the town hall, and I believe it gets backed up to a cloud. It's managed by our IT team.
Great. Hazardous materials. You have a fuel. What's the fuel storage place called?
It's Eastern Propane.
Eastern Propane?
Yep. And
It's Simplicity or what's
I don't
what's
know.
the one on Route 4A?
Is this
You had to ask. Simple Energy.
Yeah, Simple Energy. Yeah.
this is the storage facilities?
Yes.
Okay.
So Eastern is oil. Simple Energy is propane.
Yeah. So, but it's Eastern Propane is the name of the company.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Now, has anything happened at either of those locations or anywhere else in town in the last 5 years to do with hazardous materials?
No.
No.
Now, the reason I keep saying 5 years, I didn't really explain this before, is the plan is a 5-year plan. So we don't need to go back much further than that. Plus I can get so much information from your old plan that I don't need to. Okay, the next one's about transport accidents. Any physical transportation accidents that have occurred? I think you mentioned one, John.
Yes, a few months ago, a propane tractor trailer overturned.
Was that, do you have the month for that? What month that was?
November.
November?
Yeah, it was November.
And what was the end result of that?
Driver minor injuries and road closure for a few hours.
How do they clean that up?
They call them big heavy tractor trailers, and the whole event took almost 24 hours.
No, October.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was October, not November.
October 23rd. to be exact.
Yeah, October 23rd, so.
What road was it on?
Route 4.
It was on Route 4, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, did it cause environmental situation? I don't know
No.
what propane does. Does the propane get spilled?
No. No. Fortunately.
Did the truck leak oil though?
No.
Wasn't there an oil leak?
Nope.
No. Okay.
No, didn't rupture fuel tanks. Didn't rupture.
They were just concerned.
They were concerned for it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, the next one is aging infrastructure. We already talked about that a little bit. The town hall. Let's start with town office. Let's start with town office first. Tell me what's wrong with the town office.
Well, it was built in the 1800s.
Not properly insulated.
Mm.
What would we consider?
It's a post and
aging
beam
infrastructure?
construction with floor sagging due to the weight of the file cabinets.
Yep. And we can't keep offices in the upstairs. We can only use it for storage. And our basement is dirt. With, what is it, stone foundation? Is that what you
Yeah.
call it? Stone foundation.
Is there any plan to replace it?
We don't currently have a plan now.
Okay, let's talk about next the highway garage. Highway shed. What shape is that in? Do you need a new highway shed?
Absolutely. One of them was built in '93, and it is pine boards on the exterior, which have not been treated properly in the years over the years.
Does it have a bathroom?
Yes.
Okay. That's one thing I hear about old sheds. They don't have bathrooms in them.
The newer shed does, but John, do you know when the old shed was built? Any ideas?
Not off the top of my head, I'd have to look it up.
But the older shed is in desperate need of some repairs. It's not big enough for the trucks that we have in it currently.
And that's what you use it for storage?
Yeah, it's a storage facility for 2 trucks, and then it's got a cold storage building off the side of it. Roof leaks. Definitely not insulated properly.
Okay.
Furnace runs constantly.
What runs constantly?
The furnace.
New furnace?
Yep. In both buildings.
In both the old and new.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds you guys have some significant infrastructure situations. The police station.
Is part of the town office.
Okay, we don't need to get into details on that.
Correct.
Is there any plan for a new police station?
Not currently, no.
Fire station, what condition is that in?
I think that one's in the best shape out of all of them.
Yes.
That's probably what, the newest?
And that was, I believe that was
93.
built in '93 as well.
Does it need any work at all?
Just some
So-
siding, right?
No, the siding was done.
Oh yeah, the siding was done.
So we had that floor insurance issue where we got the payout for the floor insurance, but there was no actual issue with the floor.
Correct.
It was mitigated.
It was mitigated. Okay. So yeah. That
Okay,
probably
let's
is-
talk about roads.
Uh,
Give me a grade A to F on your current roads, local roads, not state roads. A to F.
A to F. What's worse? Which side's worse and which side's
A is always good.
okay? That's what I wanted to make sure of. I would probably say we're in the middle. I mean, there are some that are worse than others.
About a C.
Yeah, I would say C to a D.
culverts do you change out a year?
It depends on the year. We shoot for anywhere from 5 to 8 a year, as long as we have the time.
And budget?
Yes.
Do you have a paving project that you have so many roads a year you will pave and you will replace culverts?
That depends on what we get for our paving budget,
But you don't have an outline plan.
but we do not have an outline plan for it now.
What else do you want to tell me about your roads? Oh, how many culverts in total? Do you know that?
A lot.
A lot
I
of
thought you
culverts.
at least
Okay.
came up with a
And
number, but I
is it
can't
all in
remember
your
what.
head? Or do you have it in writing anywhere?
I don't have them in writing.
We don't have a list of culverts. I thought we did.
No, because there
We
are
need to-
far
and
too
that-
many.
That's
gonna
not
be
what.
a mitigation action item in this plan.
Because there are far too many to write them all down.
Oh, I thought we found a list.
Oh no, there are hundreds, if not thousands, across the entire town.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not unusual to hear 600 culverts in a town.
Oh, we have more than that.
Oh yeah, I could easily probably tell you 1,500 across the entire town and still be shy.
That's not counting private culverts, right? That's just local road
No, that's
culverts?
just road culverts.
Okay, and last thing I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about it down below too, but let's do it here. Bridges.
Oh god.
I'm going to go down below for just a second here. Do you know how many town-owned bridges there are?
So you have Riddle Hill, Davis Road, times 2,
I'd have to look it up.
Lower Meadow.
Lower Meadow, Lower Sergeant,
It's 5,
Prescott Hill, Slab City,
7,
Wild Meadow,
8,
You have Kinsman and Prescott.
Kingsman, which just got replaced. But,
Okay.
Grafton Pond,
How many do you have on Prescott?
2,
Fowler Town?
that's Culver.
That's Culver. Okay. One by the dam.
up to at least
That's
11.
Grafton Pond.
Grafton Pond. Okay.
Hardy
Hardy
Hill.
Hill.
That's a multi-plate.
I lost count.
I think we're at 13.
13? Might be.
We have.
Wentworth Road,
Uh-huh.
which, because that's still in Grafton. It's at the town line, but it's still in Grafton.
Okay. No.
14 plus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Guesstimate.
Guess what you got for homework now?
now I gotta figure out how many bridges I got as well.
And do you know if any of them are red listed?
I know at least 2 of them are.
And which ones are those?
The one on Wild Meadow Road, and the one on Riddle Hill.
I forgot. Sergeant.
Well, yeah, Lower Sergeant.
15?
15.
So yeah, at least 15.
Okay. And as we know,
3
right
on
now,
Millbrook.
I might be able to get that information. I used to have a list of red listed bridges. I'm not sure if I can still get my hands on one.
I can look to see if I've got one. I feel like I do. I feel like we
Yeah,
just
if you have
received
a
one.
list of them, that'd be great.
I think we're 17 plus. Because the 3 on Millbrook takes us to 17, 18,
Well,
plus Turnpike.
she'll put 15 plus for now, but yeah, you got homework for the next meeting to do.
I guess.
Yep. Okay, state-owned bridges. You don't really have to give me a total on that. I guess we don't really need to worry about state-owned bridges. And which red listed or not. Do you just happen to know, though, if any state-owned bridges are red listed? Oh, we're out of time.
It's noon.
Time it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Tell you what, we'll stop here.
Okay,
Put a big
Sounds good.
yellow mark here and stop here. And we'll come back. We got a lot done today. There's still a lot more to do on this table. Not that much though. I did notice you did put some public notification. I took a snip of those already. So those will go in the plan for the public education, a public notice. And we'll talk about the rest of this later.
Okay.
All right, so we did a great job. We got through more than I thought we'd get through. Our next meeting is February 20th. In the meantime, I will send off digital copy of the plan to Jeff and also our culvert worksheet. I will make a note that the plan needs to be fast-tracked, and I will send you off table 2-1 and table 3-1, which are the ones we worked on earlier.
great.
Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, we're almost done if you wanna
All
wait
right,
here
we're in
another
great
minute.
shape. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to do this, and we will talk to you in February.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Stay warm, everybody.
Sure, okay, keep a copy of this for next time, we'll let you know any further work, so we update those sheets that are outside of, the meeting notices.
Hopefully, we won't even need
You
them.
guys
We'll
don't
get
wanna
enough
keep
attendance
these
just
to-
by you here.
Okay, but we're doing that anyhow.
All right, sounds good.
Alright, thank you, June.
Thank you very much. You have a great month.
You too.
Bye, June.
Bye-bye. Bye, Sarah. Thanks for all your help.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
I have it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've got it in my email.
Alright,
Okay.
excellent. Alright,
Sarah, I'll print off another one of
Of what?
those so I can keep track of.
Got a wrap?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I can just make